A savanna is an open grassy plain where only a few trees and bushes will grow. Savannas are usually in tropical parts of the world, like the Great Savanna on the continent of Africa. The African savanna forms a huge horseshoe around the West African jungle and covers about 620,000 square miles, or 1,000,000 square kilometers. In spite of its dry, almost desert-like look, the African savanna is home to many of the world's most interesting animals. Today, grasslands cover about 1/4 of the Earth's land surface. But only on the African savanna can you still see huge herds of wild grazing animals sharing their struggle for survival with the large hunting animals that prey on them. The soaking rains of the wet season and the burning heat of the dry season force every animal to change and adapt with the environment in order to survive. Many animals of the African savanna live out in the open, protected by their large herds or by their size and power. But some animals are safer if they hide under cover. Can you see the cheetahs hiding here? Cheetahs are large members of the cat family, but they are different from other cats in many ways. All other cats have claws they can pull in or retract. Cheetahs cannot retract their claws. Like the claws of a dog, a cheetah's claws stay out all the time. Also, unlike other cats, cheetahs have only one claw on each front foot that is sharp. These sharp claws are called dew claws, and cheetahs use them to capture their prey. The cheetah evolved independently of the other big cats. For instance, it's not as closely related to a tiger as a tiger is to a lion. Unlike lions, tigers, and other big cats, the cheetah does not roar, but it does purr like a house cat. Cheetahs have a short mane when they are young, which disappears as they get older. The cheetah is a carnivore, which means it eats only meat. It is also a predator, which means it captures animals to get the meat it needs. Even though the cheetah is a predator, it isn't large enough or powerful enough to be safe out in the open all the time. Cheetah cubs and even adult cheetahs are in danger from lions, hyenas, leopards, and wild dogs. That's why these cheetah cubs stay undercover most of the time. Their mother will stay with them until it's time for her to hunt again. Cheetahs hunt during the daytime, using their excellent eyesight to find prey. They can chase their prey at speeds of up to 70 miles or 113 kilometers per hour, making them the fastest animals on land. Cheetahs prey upon many large and small animals, but their favorite prey is Thompson's gazelle, a small kind of antelope that lives in huge herds on the African savanna. Sometimes cheetahs will hunt wildebeest or zebras, but they usually leave these larger animals alone. Even prey animals have ways to defend themselves, and every hunt is a risk for the hunter. Zebras, for instance, can bite or kick with their sharp hooves. Ostriches can defend themselves with powerful kicks. These ostriches live in small groups of 5 or 6 adults. Female ostriches will often combine their nests so their eggs will be easier to guard. When the chicks hatch, they will combine their families and share babysitting duties. Ostriches sometimes run with large herds of antelope or zebra to be safer from predators. Some animals don't have to worry much about being safe. A full-grown rhinoceros has no natural enemies at all. But like the elephant, people have hunted the rhinoceros to dangerously low levels. New laws to stop poachers are helping them to survive. Millions of years ago, there were many different species of elephant-like animals living all over the world. Now, there are only 2. The Asian elephant and the African elephant. All elephants live in groups called herds. African elephant herds live in the forest and on the savanna. African savanna elephants are larger than forest elephants or Asian elephants. The adult males stand about 10 feet or 3 meters tall and weigh about 10,000 pounds or over 4 metric tons. Since elephants eat only plant foods, they have to eat a lot. An adult elephant eats about 335 pounds or 150 kilograms of food every day. They eat leaves, roots, grasses, fruits, and bark. Elephants use just 4 molar teeth to crunch all their food. As that set of teeth wears out, another set can grow to replace it. Elephants use their tusks to peel tree bark, dig up roots, and to scare their enemies. The tusks are made of a hard white material called ivory. They are the reason people have hunted elephants for so many years. Like the rhinoceros, a full-grown elephant has no enemies except people who hunt illegally. But elephants must protect their babies from animal predators. Baby elephants, called calves, are smart and playful. They are cared for by their mothers as well as other adults in the herd. It takes 10 years for a calf to become a full-grown adult, but male elephants keep growing until they are 20 to 30 years old. When the females grow up, they stay with the herd and have calves of their own. When the males grow up, they leave the herd. If the herd becomes too big, it will break up into new, smaller herds. Elephants can live to be 70 years old. Giraffes are even taller than elephants, but they weigh much less. An adult giraffe is 14 to 19 feet tall. That's 4 to 6 meters. Their legs are longer than many people are tall. They eat leaves, twigs, and bark, especially from acacia trees. Their height and long necks let them get to food that other animals can't reach. Their tongues are long too. They use their tongues to pull tender leaves into their mouths. All giraffes have tan coats with brown spots, but no 2 giraffes have exactly the same pattern of spots. The giraffe's spots help camouflage or hide it as it stands and eats around trees. But even in the open, giraffes have ways of protecting themselves. Giraffes have very good eyesight, and from their height, it's like seeing from a lookout tower. When they see an enemy, giraffes can run 35 miles or 56 kilometers an hour to get away. Adult giraffes are large enough that they don't have many enemies, but they do have to watch out for lions. Lions are the largest predators on the African savanna. They will hunt any animal they can kill, and they can kill any animal on the savanna except an adult elephant or rhinoceros. For such ferocious hunters, lions get along very well among themselves. In fact, lions are the only cats in the world that live in permanent groups. Their groups are called prides. Each pride has up to 9 adult males and up to 18 adult females and their cubs. The lions in a pride do almost everything together. They all rest together during the hottest part of the day. The females care for each other's cubs and hunt together, but the males never hunt. That might be because their manes and larger bodies make it harder for them to sneak up on prey. The females bring home all the food for the pride. There are usually a lot of different kinds of animals near water holes on the dry African savanna. But when lions are there, all the other animals keep their distance. Water is needed by every living thing on Earth, but it has a special importance here where it only rains during one part of the year. The rest of the year is bone dry. Animals either migrate to follow the rain or have to be clever enough to find the water they need. The hippopotamus needs lots of water. It actually lives in water most of the time. Many rivers run through the savanna country. Some of them flow all year, and others run only during the rainy season. Hippos live in many of these rivers. Even though it looks like a land animal, the hippo is well suited to its life in the water. Its eyes, ears, and nostrils are on top of its head, so it can see, hear, and breathe when the rest of its body is underwater. Hippos are very good swimmers, and adults can stay underwater without breathing for as long as 5 minutes. River hippos of the savanna country are huge animals. Adults can be 12 to 15 feet long. That's 4 to 5 meters. They weigh 5,000 to 8,000 pounds, or 2,200 to 3,700 kilograms. Hippos eat some water plants, but their favorite food is grass. After dark, they climb out of the river to graze, eating huge amounts of grass every night. Back on dry land, one of the cheetah cubs plays in the grass. The mother cheetah has gone to hunt. She might not be successful at catching a meal today. In spite of their speed, cheetahs only catch a small number of the prey animals they chase. Gazelles and other animals can zigzag to avoid the cheetah until it finally tires out. Cheetahs can run fast, but they can't run very far. Play attacking like this helps prepare the cub for the day it will have to hunt its own food. A hunting cheetah doesn't just start running when it sees an animal it wants to catch. They use a plan or strategy to give themselves the best chance of catching their prey. After it sights prey, the cheetah begins to stalk. That means it slowly creeps toward the prey, sometimes sitting or crouching down to keep from being seen. The idea is to get as close as possible before starting to run. The cheetah's spotted coat helps it blend in with the savanna grasses, so it's harder for the prey to see. As the cheetah hunts, her cubs wait under cover. They are in the most danger when she leaves them alone. If a lion or leopard finds them now, they could be killed. Thompson's gazelle are probably the cheetah's favorite food because they are smaller than zebra or wildebeest and because there are so many Thompson's gazelle on the African savanna. Predators actually help the herds of gazelle and other prey animals to become healthier and stronger. As a predator stalks and watches its prey, it looks for an animal that seems old, sick, or weak. Since the strongest, fastest animals will escape from a predator, they will live to breed and have young, which will also be strong and fast. These Thompson's gazelle don't seem to notice the cheetah as she moves closer and closer to them. She knows that as soon as she begins her chase, the gazelle will begin to run. She has to catch one before she tires out, so she tries to guess how close she can creep up without letting them see her. She has picked out the animal she wants to capture. Finally, the cheetah is ready to make a sudden dash toward her prey. Gazelle usually try to lose a predator by making quick turns in every direction. Sometimes it works, but this time it looks like the cheetah will be successful. The cheetah's hungry cubs wait for her to come home with the catch. The cubs have run out to greet their mother and want to eat right now, but she knows they will be safer eating under cover, so she continues to drag the carcass toward the trees. She's trying to prevent lions, leopards, hyenas, or wild dogs from stealing their food. Hyenas are very good at hunting their own food, but they also scavenge. That means eat another predator's leftovers, and they steal kills from other predators. With a hyena on the prowl, the mother cheetah needs to get her cubs and their dinner into hiding right away, where they'll be able to eat without unwanted company. The herd of Thompson's gazelle are nervous after the cheetah's attack, but the cheetah won't hunt them until her family is hungry again. Most predators will eat as much meat as their stomachs will hold whenever food is available. Then they sleep and rest until they feel hungry again. That might not be for a day or even 2 days. When the cheetahs have eaten all they want, vultures will probably find the gazelle carcass and pick at it for scraps. Vultures never hunt live animals. Instead, they eat only the meat left over after predators have eaten their kills. This meat is called carrion. Vultures find carrion by using their excellent eyesight. They look for signs that could mean some carrion has been found. When they see other vultures circling in the sky, which they can see from very far away, they will fly there to investigate. Some people think that vultures and other scavengers are disgusting or somehow bad. But scavengers are some of the most useful animals in the world. They are nature's cleanup crew, getting rid of leftover meat before it rots and spreads disease to animals that are alive and healthy. Scavengers, like all animals on the African savanna, play a part in the balance of nature. Some of the animals' lives may seem harsh or cruel, but each one is just doing what it was born to do. Even in this land where most food crops won't grow, more and more wild areas have disappeared. The governments of many African countries have set aside parks and preserves so the wonderful animals of the African savanna will be able to survive.